Welcome back, guys. I'm excited. This should be, knock on wood, the last talking head video before I can get back on the bikes. We are scheduled, as of an hour ago, to be out of here in about a week and a half. We finally just got our close and moving dates. To say things have been hectic and it being a roller coaster is a dramatic understatement. Excuse me if I go back over some stuff because I don't recall exactly where I've been leaving off. I've been trying to do updates on various videos on both Cigar Obsession and Two Wheel Obsession, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. After everything is said and done and we're in, I will do a long, congruent, one thought process video on the whole experience, but I'm just trying to keep you guys in the loop right now. We have a huge, massive thunderstorm, stretches all the way up the Florida coast, about to hit in about maybe an hour. So I got a little bit of time to record this. Okay, thinking about where I left it. First of all, there are a lot of people that only saw the very first video like a month ago where we had planned plan A on moving to Tennessee. That, just so you guys are clear, if any of you left are watching it, that got scrapped after that trip. We're gonna lose the wife's pension. The retirement just didn't transfer. Incredible costs to do it. We would have to rent for a year, just not worth it. We don't have to move, so that was scrapped. We are moving about 40 minutes or so east to Land O'Lakes. It's a neighborhood, actually a town, self-contained, called Connerton. We couldn't be happier with the house. It's not 100% perfect. You have to build to get your absolute perfect house, but I'll tell you what, it's 95% perfect for us, and the other 5% is still great. I have nothing to complain about. But I'll tell you what, because this house is so head and shoulders for us above everything else, because we have such admittedly strange requirements in the house, mostly because of my work, because I work from home. I need a space for motorcycles, I need shooting space for commercial photography, I need a great outdoor space for cigar videos. Look, I know we're that fraction of a percent people that have all the weird deal breakers about finding a house. Most people would not have anywhere near the kind of requirements we do. If that makes us picky, so be it, because we found our dream home ready to go. Now, the whole process has been a pain in the butt, but I know it's going to be worth it. Ooh, here's somebody calling. It's either my realtor or the inspector. Hang on. Nope, inspector's rolling up right now. Stand by. Okay, so that was quick and easy. That was the VA appraiser, I think I said inspector before, coming back just to verify that all the electrical work that we had to have done was complete. So that's done. That should be the last thing that we have to do with this house. So that's good. Okay, where did I leave off? So, longer story short, we're moving to Land O'Lakes. Great house. We're extremely picky, but we found our dream house. So, couldn't be happier with it. It is literally twice the size of the house. Everything in it is upgraded. We just absolutely love it. Can't wait to get in there. Now, before this whole process, I said I want to avoid making all the mistakes that we made before. We are not first-time buyers, but first-time sellers. I'm happy to say that we avoided all the problems, all the errors that we made the first time. Our buying experience went absolutely smoothly, absolutely perfectly. Our seller turned out to be really good. We have a final walkthrough with him coming up this weekend. He made all the relatively minor repairs that were needed and found on inspection to his house. Did it immediately, same as we did. Not that we had anything to repair, but you know, great guy. So no problems there. We're ready to move in as of the first of the month. The only thing that we're waiting on is my bank statement for August, which unfortunately comes at the end of August. But that's just for the mortgage paperwork. But other than that, I mean, we've been ready to go for a couple weeks now. 99% packed up. Just have, you know, the stuff in the bathrooms, living stuff. That's about it. Everything is in bins and big stuff ready to go up loose. Movers are coming very early in the morning, the day after close. We finally, just this morning, got an agreement with our buyers to let us move the morning after. Because we're doing the simultaneous closes and everybody's exchanging keys at the same time, that doesn't give us any opportunity to physically move after turning in our keys. But that's taken care of now. And that night after closing, I'm gonna run over some of the more fragile things. I've got huge floor speakers. I don't wanna trust those to movers. We got a lot of picture frames and stuff like that. We'll just, take those over ourselves in the car. Things that would be expensive to have packed up by the movers. So they're gonna have a cake job. They estimated about 2 hours to be out of here. We're gonna give it a clean sweep and we'll be done by probably lunch. And move in is gonna be very quick too, because most of it's unfortunately gonna go right in the garage. I have to repaint the entire inside of the house. Wife wants it done, make her happy, whatever. I was fine with the colors that are in it now, with the exception of like 2 walls, but she wants a new color, fine, whatever, no problem. Picked out a paint color, and here's my tip on that. Get the sample paints. I know I mentioned this in some other update video on some channel, I don't remember where, but get the sample paints. She saw a picture on her phone that she loved, thought she wanted that color. Said, all right, we go down to Home Depot. For $3.50, they'll shake you up, mix you up a little sample paint jar. Good to paint like probably a 10 by 10 amount of area. $3.50, you actually get a lot of paint. So I painted one of the lids to the bins. Sure enough, it's not what she thought. She was looking for this neutral, very slightly blue tinted gray. And that's what the picture looks like on the website. They painted up a bathroom with the color. It looks fantastic, it really does. It's not what the actual paint looks like, and it's not what the swatch looks like that you take home. So, went back to the store and simply matched that picture to a swatch. Turned out to be French silver that she actually likes. It is a beautiful color. I can't wait to see the house done up in it, but it's gonna take me a week to do it. It's a freaking huge house. Luckily, the new our seller left us a 12-foot ladder so I can get up to the ceilings. It's a lot of area to paint, so it's going to take me a while. Then we'll be able to move stuff actually in and set it all up. So it's going to be a while. Can't wait though. It's going to be awesome. But all the headaches have come from our buyers. Turned out to be just, look, I'm a no BS kind of guy. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I do it. Simple as that. This guy just turned out to be a liar, unfortunately. And more unfortunately, we only found out here at the end. Before anything started, when this guy put in his offer at that first day, when we accepted the offer and nailed down the details and a rough timeline, part of this is to blame on our realtor and his buyer's agent, because neither one of those, well, the buyer's agent may have and this guy may have not cared. We didn't know. Here's the mistakes we made in this whole transaction, and it's just on the selling end for us. And forgive me again, I don't remember which video I've said this in, so I'll make it short. If you're selling, if you have a upper end home especially, and in this market, even though this house is nothing great, in this market it is. We are the market leader in the neighborhood by far as price point, square footage, amenities, move-in readiness, all of that. By far best in the entire neighborhood, if not surrounding ones. And the realtors knew that. That's why we got 3 offers within 24 hours. Do not accept a VA or FHA loan. Number one, it's going to come in lower than market value because the VA appraisers don't give you full appraisal value. Nobody told us that. If we would have known that ahead of time, never would have checked those boxes and it would have been cash or conventional only options. It screws the sellers. The only time it's fair for both parties is if the house needs something. The roof is older, the AC is older, doesn't need replacement. You can't even use the VA programs if there's anything major that needs replacement, because they will not give an okay. They have a very extensive checklist on the house itself before they'll even consider it an option to give a loan on. So it has to be in good condition at least. But if it needs work, say there's a 15-year-old roof on it, good enough to get a loan on, but you're going to have to be putting a roof on it within the next several years. That's where it's okay, because it's going to come in under value. This roof's not even a year old. AC, not 2 years old. That's the way this whole house is. Everything's basically new. No one has to do anything major in here for 10 or 15 years at least. That's when you lose your ass on a VA or FHA loan, because that value comes in lower than market by thousands of dollars. And that's simply the way it works. The VA loan program is only benefiting the veteran that's using it to buy the house. It screws the seller. Like I said, we never would have accepted that as an option had we known that, and we weren't told that. Okay, so there's that. The other end of the stick that we weren't aware of, and this is, again, partially our fault because we had no experience, and it didn't come up when I was really researching it. The appraisers have an ungodly amount of power in real estate transactions. I simply wasn't aware of it, had no experience with it. Our realtor never really explained it, and she admitted she should have told us. She assumed that we knew. So a little bit of fault on both ends, but that is what it is. Nobody did anything malicious. It's just the way it turned out. The appraiser's price caps what the possible loan amount can be. And unfortunately, byproduct of a VA loan, it's a 100% financing option. And this guy is doing 100% financing, meaning there's no down payment, meaning the loan amount has to cover 100% of the sale price of the house. So when that VA appraisal came in low, there's a deficit there between what we agreed to sell on and what the maximum the bank will give him money for. Basically, the two options are drop the price to match that level, which screws the seller out of thousands of dollars, or the buyer puts down a little bit of a down payment to make up that gap so he doesn't have to borrow that full amount, which this guy said he was going to do back at the beginning. Put in the addendum. He said, look, this is why I think he was aware, because he said, if the VA loan comes in low, I've got tons of cash to make up the difference. Those were his words. He said he's got a great job, he's a manager at a blah 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 company. No worries. Okay, so we were good. We accepted the contract, good to go. Thought everything was hunky-dory. Appraisal comes in low, as everyone expected. He lied. He has no money. Nothing. Broke as a joke. He put down $1,000 escrow deposit on the contract. That's it. He thought that's all he could do to get a house, is put down $1,000. So we had to drop the price and pay his closing costs. He doesn't even have that. So we got screwed twice there. Also, because the VA loan process has, like I said, those crazy requirements, we had to upgrade some of the electrical components on the house to the tune of $3,500, only because it was a VA loan. Conventional loans don't care. We got the house with a conventional loan, didn't care about what they had to have done. It's just a bunch of BS work. And it was all labor. The parts were $100, but it took two guys 4 freaking days. Now, admittedly, they were really slow to do all the work. $3,500, again, out of our pocket cash. This didn't even come out of the sale. This was cash I had to pay to have done just to make the deal. So we're out, I don't know, let's see, almost $15,000. Combination of cash out of my pocket and lost revenue from the sale, just because of the VA loan. So I think you can see why I'm recommending stay away from selling to VA or FHA loans. FHA, any government funded loan, same requirements. So just say no. Anyway, this morning, finally, things are getting rolling. We set the date. His funding schedule was confirmed. We've heard that before, but everything is set for a little over a week from now. So, relief, sweet relief. The new place is good to go as far as we know. Like I said, we're just doing our final walkthrough with the realtor and the seller. One of the things he had to have replaced, there was something wrong with the gas line to the hot water tank and the fireplace. It's a gas artificial log fireplace, and it wouldn't light. I'm sure it was just like a safety check valve stuck shut, because the furnace worked. It's gas also. So wasn't a big deal. Everything's fixed. He's gonna show us how to work it. There was a minor little electrical box where someone had added 2 more ceiling fans to the back lanai off the one that was there, and they just didn't put a junction box around it. So he had that done. The only major thing was a completely fractured roof truss. And it was probably there from the beginning during construction. It looks like it was a flaw in the wood, but there's a big knot above it. They probably just didn't see it. And it was covered up by insulation material. But our inspector is great, and he found it. And they had that fixed. That's all done, got pictures, good to go, all braced up. That was it. So, relatively painless. Our inspection here went completely smoothly. I knew of everything that, was done. And we knew about the little VA things that had to be done, so I made sure everything was good. I can't even remember what they found. I can't. There were stupid little things. The drain plug in the tub that we have never used, not once. It was stuck shut, so the inspector couldn't get the lever to work. I just had to unscrew it and loosen the thing. It was simply a little bit seized in place, so that was fixed. One of the drains was a little slow, so I cleaned it. That was fixed. And he mentioned, and this wasn't even a you must fix thing, but there was some mildew on the side of the house. I pressure washed the whole house beforehand, and the back fence and all that, so everything looked new. I forgot a spot. I just forgot to go back over there and hit it. So I did that, and that was it. And our checklist was squeaky clean. So we've made it as easy as possible for anybody buying, and our sellers made it very easy for us. We're sailing through easy for our seller. Like I said, we're good to go. We've got our money waiting. Our ducks are in a row, just waiting for that final bank statement. And our paperwork is done. So everything is waiting on our buyer. That's it. Can't think of anything else right now. Like I said, I'll have a much more detailed video sometime in the future after we're in and everything's done. I'll show you a walkthrough of the house. I did a very quick walkthrough video of it. I think in one of the groups, can't remember right now, but it wasn't painted and there's no furniture, so it was just like snapshots. That's it. Okay, see you guys next time.